We're live. Shut up, Greg. Hey there, beer tubers, and Merry Christmas. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101. Bring your own beers edition. Shut up, Greg. For fuck's sake. Merry Christmas. And we're going to do Christmas beers. Yeah. Do the sack, right? All right. And while we wonder what everybody got from Santa's sack, let's turn to people who we have with us tonight, starting with Mr. Redbeard. How you doing tonight, sir?
Good. Merry Christmas, y'all. Are we studying the beer we have now, too, right now?
No, I'll go back around and do that.
Okay. Nice to be here.
All right. Ashley.
Hello. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. All that fun stuff. And hope everyone's having a great one. And, hanging out in their house.
Hope everyone's having a Festivus for the rest of us.
Exactly.
Good. What's going on? Sure.
Hello, Merry Christmas. I don't know why my camera's all fucked. What's going on with our world here? Hopefully everyone had a good. Let's have a good Christmas. I did.
That's all right. All right.
Yeah, that's all. Thanks for having me, Nick. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming on, Chris. It's been a while. All right. We also have Mr. Lee of the High Tide and Vibe. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm all right, man.
Mr.
How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Surviving.
Okay.
Alrighty. And of course, everybody's favorite Greg. Greg.
I'm here with a shockingly calm Arnold.
Oh, wow. Did you
how long that last? And happy Boxing Day, everyone. I hope everyone had a great shopping day full of going to in-person shopping and, browsing through merchandise and touching things and then going home and hugging your family.
Oh.
Right. Jesus Christ. All right. So, we are doing, of course, Christmas beers as previously discussed. We got two comments there. We got Mr. The Fuzz saying very Merry Scottmas. Wow. And we have Mercy Beers in the chat saying Merry Christmas, chaps. Merry Christmas, sir.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas. Have mercy.
Have mercy. Mother mercy. All right, let's go back over to Redbeard. Redbeard, what did you bring with you tonight?
Totally forgot that we were doing this random Saturday edition of Beer Analysis 101 and didn't think I had any kind of Christmas beer, but then remembered my sister. Like, my family did our Christmas on the 19th. That's just when we were all available. My sister came from Perry Sound, where Trestle Brewing is, and she brought me a can of this.
Grinch Tears.
Key Lime Goza. It's the only even remotely Christmas-themed thing I have, so...
Grinch stole Christmas, and he's a piece of shit, but it's still he did give it back.
Eventually, yeah.
He's a mean one. That's
a mean one. Then his heart grew several sizes that day.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to Ashley. Ashley, what did you bring with you tonight, sir?
So I brought to the world today a special beer that came from our dear friend Dan, aka West Coast Nick. Whatever his channel name is, I can't remember. It changes every 3 weeks. So what I brought today, or what he gifted me, he sent me a bunch of crazy adjunct shit. And I saved this one knowing that we were going to have something around this time. And this comes from New Level Brewing. It is a 473 ml can, 10% alcohol by volume, 30 IBUs. Krampus Christmas Ale, Imperial Eggnog Stout.
Oh, that just sounds nasty.
Imperial Eggnog Stout, 10%, from New Level Brewing in, Calgary, Alberta.
I had that last year. It wasn't terrible.
I mean, it remains to be seen. I imagine it sounds kind of nasty on paper, but it might be okay. It might be pretty good. Who knows? All righty, let's go over to Chris. What did you bring with you tonight, Chris?
Well, it's not really Christmas themed, but for me, during Christmas, especially during this time of year, I like to do a lot of heavy Imperial stouts. And so today I am going to be cracking open a beer that was sent to me by our host of the evening, Nick Lowe. And today we are drinking the Fuller's Imperial Stout.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Today, because it's a special BA101, and I wanted to drink this one.
Nice.
Sure.
Cool, Chris. Yeah, and I think that actually is a beer that Fuller's releases once a year around Christmas time anyway.
Perfect. Very cool.
This is perfect timing.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it actually real quick. This one's 10.7% alcohol by volume, I think. I can't remember. I can't read. My God. what is, yeah, 10.7. It's in a 500 ml bottle, and it's supposed to be really good. I don't think I've ever had this, so I want to have it.
There you go.
Yep.
Alrighty.
It's
And
good.
all right, let's go over to Lee. Lee, what do you got tonight?
Much like Redbird, I actually didn't think I had anything that was remotely Christmassy or even winter seasonal. But then I actually got some beer for Christmas from my dad, and he randomly put this in, and I guess this is kind of a seasonal for Garrison. It seems to only really show up during the winter time, and mostly in their like little winter holiday sampler pack or whatever the fuck. So I assume it's pretty much their winter seasonal, and it's their Deja Mu Milk Stout.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
Nice.
nice.
Okay.
Alrighty. All right, let's go over to Greg. Hi, Greg. What did you bring tonight, sir?
You muted.
You're muted, Greg.
You're muted.
Muted. Somebody mute me or I mute myself. I had originally planned to bring this. Stocking Toe by GLB. It's a Clementine Pale Ale, 4.5%. But then I thought, you know what? It's very rare that me and Ashley have the chance to vomit together. So I also got this from Ken. And I'm going to drink this with Ashley, and we're going to suffer through it together.
But yours is a bourbon barrel.
Oh, is mine different than yours?
Yes, mine is the Imperial eggnog, and yours is the bourbon barrel aged Imperial.
Oh,
Oh.
interesting.
So
So
we
we
have-
will compare and contrast, but still vomit together.
So is yours 10%, or is yours a
Mine
little
is 11.9%.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
All right, this is going to get good.
Got a little funky in that barrel.
Alrighty, let's go over to what I brought with me tonight. And I've been holding on to this for a year because this is a brew from Bridge Brewing in Vancouver, BC. This is Santa's Sack Golden Strong Ale, 10 10% ABV, 30 IBUs. It is a Golden Strong Ale brewed with North Shore water, Pilsner malt, dextrin malt, acidulated malt, could be sour, caramel Vienna malt, pearl hops, and Belgian yeast. So this is definitely an interesting, like a strong Belgian golden ale or something like that. But obviously Santa themed, and I figured it would be appropriate to drink from Santa's sack tonight.
Wow.
All right. That sounds wrong.
You're regretting that one.
Oh shit! All right, holy shit, we got some comments.
That was so far
Sipping from the sack.
I always knew Nick was a homosexual.
All right, Ash, do you want to do your
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh God.
Nothing
Okay.
wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. So left off with cheers, fellas. What you drinking? Mersey Beers is just finishing off Come On Roasters, which is a Burundi Novoze edition from Malt Garden Brewing out of Poland. Lovely big Imperial coffee stout. Lovely. Raining on your parades in the chat. He has a Duchess chocolate cherry after a Kostritzer Black Lager. Just got back from my bombing in Nashville. Cheers. Have a great holiday, everyone. Oh,
Too
God.
soon?
He's Nashville.
Well, he didn't kill anybody, so I
Didn't
guess.
kill anyone. And then Mersey Beers, Fuller's Vintage and Impy get released around the same time in November. We get it. What the hell happened?
What?
Oh, sorry. No, the chat shifted for me. We get it at the same time in November. We get it in the Waltro supermarket here as well. Actually got still knocked by the Dole in the fridge. Loving the name of these beers, says Lee.
Still knocked by the Dole. Okay.
Yeah. And cheers by Mersey. Still a knock. Great stuff. This is rating on your parade. There we go.
Still knocked. Great stuff. All right. Let's go back out to the remaining panel view because I want to think about the beer I'm drinking first. Speaking of which, maybe we should just go ahead and talk about the beers we got. I think we already know pretty much what needs to be said. But your beer, what's your history with Trestle there, Redbird?
They opened not super long ago in Perry Sound, kind of my second hometown, North Bay. Grew up in both places. And they make a lot of, nothing really amazing beer-wise, but a lot of nice beers. And their Imperial Stout is actually delicious. It's called Bragload. And they have a really good kitchen at the brewery and a very, very, very beautiful patio. It's just this really super nice place to be. And this is doesn't really say anything except what a goza is a traditional German style of sour wheat ale that uses coriander and salt to add subtle herbal citrus notes with a hint of salinity. And the key lime puree and Vancouver Island sea salt was added.
Yeah.
So,
Actually sounds pretty good.
4% ABV. I'm going a little less hardcore than pretty much everyone else, I'd say. Yes.
Mine's only 5%. So.
Oh.
All right, let's go over to Ashley's Sexy Town.
So I don't really have much of a history of this brewery, let alone this beer, since this is based out of Alberta. So yeah, nothing really much to say about it, other than that the beer mail from Dan to me was meant more as a joke, to a certain effect, because he knows that I'm not the biggest fan of adjuncts, and he put together some of the craziest adjunct high ABV stouts he could probably find. So here we are, getting to it. So, it's going down. We are drinking it, so nothing exploded, and I haven't fallen over dead yet. So we're going in.
Thanks, Young.
Yeah, I still have another Imperial Porter from him as well, which I was gonna double up. So here we go.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
More life choices being.
Alrighty, let's go over to Chris.
I've had a bunch of Fuller stuff before.
I'm pretty sure you've had Fuller stuff before.
I've had Fuller stuff before, but I've never had this before, and I don't know what I've been waiting for, because this is pretty goddamn tasty. Not much to say on it, but we'll get to our analysis of it later. But yeah, Fuller's. Everyone's had something from Fuller's anyway in their lifetime, so vintage ale is always good. The Imperial Stout is going pretty goddamn good right now. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
All righty. Let's go over to Lee, and I think this is probably a dumb question. I know you have a big history with Garrison, but
my history of Garrison is gone as long as me drinking craft beer, because Garrison was one of the first in Nova Scotia to make craft beer, basically. So, like way back in 96, 7-ish, I think. But this beer itself, the Deja Moo Milk Stout, I think I may have had it once before, but I was too drunk to fucking appreciate it. It was just like, it was one of those beers you have at like the fucking end of the night, and you've already had like so many beers you can't even really taste the beer anymore, kind of thing. So, my history of this is very limited, and like I said, it's very hard to find. Really, I don't see it on the shelves much. Like I said, I think it's pretty much just a winter seasonal, and they don't even list it on their website as a seasonal. I did find it, but it's like an unlisted web page that you can't really get to outside of like searching on Google for it. But yeah, 5% alcohol, 32 IBUs, Mandarina and Columbus hops. The Mandarina, if I'm not mistaken, is a pretty maybe kind of like a really big citrus hop more than anything else, which feels weird to be in here. But then the Columbus is generally a pretty earthy hop, so who knows? Maybe there's some sort of balance there. And it says it's got pale Munich oat, crystal, and roasted barley in the malt bill. So no lactose or anything like that in it. So there you go. I don't even know why they call it a milk stout if they don't have.
Yeah, how's that even possible? Unless they just heavily oated it, but I don't know.
I guess it's heavily oated. But yeah, well, we'll see what we think of it when we get back around to me.
Alrighty, and let's go over to Jingle Balls. Jingle Gray here.
It's low bells to you, mister. And I have no experience with this brewery at all. Again, I was victim to Krampus Dan's joke beer mail. Although he sent me some good, he sent me a combination of really bad stuff and really good stuff. Like I just had a barrel aged stout from him earlier. Delicious. I don't know this shit he's sending me like his blueberry stout. No, thank you.
Blueberry stout? Ew.
Yeah, you just send that right back to Alberta or wherever you're from. Yeah, so again, victim of Dan's beer mail, and I have no experience with this brewery whatsoever, New Level Brewing, and unless there's another one of his beers in my fridge, I'm not totally sure, but I definitely haven't drank it before, though. So.
Nice. Alrighty, let's go over to me, and I can talk about my sack, or Santa's sack, rather.
Wow.
My experience, I've had a few beers from the Bridge Brewing Company over the years. They just sort of randomly show up here in New Brunswick. BC brewery showing up all the way over here, random. But they've been here for about, I think, 4 or 5 years now. And I honestly don't remember how many beers I've had from Bridge at this point. I've only untapped 2 of them, but I know I've had more, including I've had this one specifically once. Which I know I bought this bottle last year and I've been saving it for doing something like this year. But when I had this, I think I had this in like 2018. So I'm not really sure. Either way, I've had this before. So, and Bridge, the one thing I gotta say I don't like about Bridge is when they showed up here, they showed up a bunch of just like ordinary beers, like just like this tangerine IPA or this some kind of stout or a porter. They look like good beers, but when they showed up here in these size bottles, these suckers are like $10, $12, $13 a bottle. I'm like, for that kind of beer, that style, I'm not paying that much for that. This I bought when it was on clearance, and I don't think it was a terrible price, but I can't remember how much it was. It's like probably like $6, $7, which I won't get into too detail, but worth it for that price. All right, so that's me. We have more comments actually.
Ashley, you're muted.
Ash.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks. Nick should know that Ridgeside Brewing makes a Santa's butt. So Nick could be drinking from a butt rather than a sack.
Oh, God.
That is
Actually, got a spout.
I don't know. And then he corrected himself. Ridgeway, not Ridgeside. My bad. And in reference to Lee's comment about the Mandarina hops, he says Mandarina Bavaria hop is probably the most orangey hop in existence.
Yeah, Trail made a beer with Mandarina Bavaria hops in it. It was like a very much like an orange tangerine kind of flavor. And when they did it, they used like that freeze dried hop kind of like hop powder or whatever it's called. It was the rage for a while.
Oh, they've moved on to more things. It's crazy what they've done with hopping now.
Mercy Beer is talking about blueberry stouts there.
So I've never had a blueberry stout. That just sounds like. I don't know.
We had that one that Earth sent us that the bottle share and that in Welland.
Yeah,
Welland this up.
Bottle Logic.
Where the fuck is Earth? Did he die or something? I hope he did.
I hope not. I'm like, I hope he did. I
don't know. I actually sent him a message on Untapped. It was the only social media I had him connected on.
He's fighting a pandemic on his planet.
He had to go back to his home planet and needed him like Poochie.
He's a little busy at the moment.
Yeah,
that's funny. Blueberry stouts are a great flavor, especially if you chuck in maple syrup in there as well.
That makes it even more dodgy because the maple syrup's going to go bad quick. So I think Nick and I and probably the most of the other people on this panel can attest to how bad maple beers get really quickly.
Depends on the maple beer, like Picaroons, especially that fucking maple beer. You can't even leave it out of the fridge. At all times.
That's Picaroon's fault for how they do their beers too. At the same time,
I mean, I had maple beers. Like there was that Imperial Stout that I drank last week, which was with Sith. It was like an Imperial Stout, which aged. It handled itself real well. It aged for like 2 years and it was fine, but a lot of maple beers they'll go off. I don't know what it is. The sugars in the maples are more prone to getting spoiled. I've had
if you got maple in like an Imperial Stout, I mean,
like the first,
you get the alcohol to kind of.
Did Chad ever send you the Nickelbrook Maple, Sugar Bush Maple, or whatever it was when it first came out? I know he did send it to me. I left it in the fridge for like 3 months and it was spoiled.
He might have. I don't know. I'd have to look back in my reviews.
GLB released that.
No. The you're talking the Molson, right? The Molson Sugar Bush.
No, it was one from Nickelbrook. I forget what it was called. Nickelbrook Maple.
Oh, okay. No, sorry I interrupted you there, Chris.
No, I can't remember what it was, but I won. Oh, it wasn't. Oh, fuck! It wasn't GLB. It was Bellwoods. They had that one. That one beer with maple in it, maple syrup in it.
Was it anyone here had the Molson Sugar Bush? I've had it. It's really good.
No.
I mean, GLB did release a maple syrup barley wine like a few weeks ago, and it was like diabetes in a can. It was sweet.
Diabetes.
The Molson Sugar Bush was sweet, but it wasn't cloying or anything. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I can't remember if I reviewed it or not on the channel. I need to get another bottle.
I know that Moosehead just released a maple black lager or something this year.
Really?
I might be wrong on that, but I know it was some kind of Imperial black lager.
Wow. Okay.
An Imperial black lager?
I have to look it up.
Sounds really fucked up.
Still, I like the idea if you're going to do a maple beer, make it an Imperial.
It's going to get there anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, the alcohol will go up, but I mean, if it's just like a regular strength beer and you let it sit too long, that maple is just going to turn.
There it is. Moosehead Small Batch Imperial Sugar Bush.
Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, Moosehead. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Not Molson, Moosehead.
Oh, the Moosehead's Sugar Bush maple is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, yeah.
But that's their Imperial version, 9.5% ABV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Should go get one.
I'm just so out of touch with what happens in the beer world.
That sucks. I can't go over to the States right now. Fuck, and get all those good beers. Son of a bitch.
Wow.
But you can get Moosehead Sugar Bush right here in Canada.
I know. Oh,
it's actually not bad, man. It's actually not bad at all. No, it's. I mean, their small batch series has been good to great for the most part. So, I mean, I think the only exception I can think of that was like a real misstep was the rhubarb IPA or whatever the fuck. And
that rhubarb hibiscus saison.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that was, and the peppermint IPA.
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah, it was an IPA, right? Wasn't it? Yeah.
That was a bad beer.
That was like peppermint pine forward friggin' IPA. We thought it was a bit of a mistake.
They got a little too artistic with their small batch there for a little while.
The rope beer that they made last year, that was excellent.
Haven't had that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one didn't show up.
Shit, I wish they would release that again because I ended up buying like 24 cans of that stuff. That was so good.
Oh my god.
They might. I've seen some of the small batch stuff return again, unless it was just like, older stuff being sent to our store because of clearance or whatever. I don't know.
Wow, Moosehead apparently reissued their Imperial Stout and it's stronger this year. It's 9.5.
Oh, that's the English, the London Stout or whatever they fucking made before?
Not the London Stout. Like they did have that London Stout, and they have a Russian Imperial Stout.
Oh, really?
Which they released last year in like came in 2018 for like $15 a bottle. It was a fucking ripoff. It's still $15 a bottle.
But it was
8.1% ABV, which was like fuck you basically. For an Imperial Stout. But they've reissued it this year, apparently. I'm looking at the NB Liquor website. It's 9.5 now. So I've been kind of ignoring it because I didn't realize the ABV hadn't changed.
If it shows up in my NSLC, I know it will eventually go on clearance, and I'll just pick it up then for like $4 less or whatever the fuck they knock it down to. But right. I'm ready to talk about my beer unless anyone else wants to go first. All right, so
are we talking about yours, or you want to go back to the circle? Let's let Lee go first because he wants to.
All right. Yeah, this is pretty good. I think the aroma is better than the actual taste. Like, you get a real sort of graham cracker and milk chocolate kind of thing. So it's almost like s'mores, but not quite. the taste sort of follows through, but it sort of becomes a nondescript kind of sweetness. It does have a very creamy like mouthfeel to it. The oats you can definitely tell are really in play. The massive citrusy hops of the mandarina or whatever definitely don't come out in the actual taste of this. So it must be there for more bittering than anything else. I'm assuming it's kind of probably just because I was reading up on the hop variety and. You can, depending on how you employ it, it can be just strictly for bittering as well. You can like dial the flavors down or whatever, depending on how you use it. So I guess that's what they're doing here, because there is a good little bit of mild earthy bitterness in there. The Columbus hops probably also coming out in that sort of regard. To call it a milk stout, though, I think is kind of lying. They're kind of cheating people here because there's, from what I can tell, no lactose involved at all. So I think they're going for the body, the mouthfeel more than anything else. And so, like, style-wise, this is more a stout than a milk stout, but I've got to kind of rate it on what they're saying it is. And they're calling it a milk stout, and style-wise, no, like a 5. But my personal enjoyment, pretty good. Drinks all right. Decent finish. Smells really good. And I'd probably throw like a 7 for my personal enjoyment.
Nice. Yeah, very good, Lee. All right, let's go back over to Redbeard and you say, what's your thoughts on your Goza?
This is fucking delicious.
How goes the Goza?
Just really, really solid and really nice tartness to it. The saltiness works really, really well with the lime flavors in here. Like, it's really nice.
Joe would love that.
It's fucking delicious. I'm gonna give it a 9 for the style and 8.5 for my enjoyment. This is great.
I've always felt like a lime Goza would be fucking amazing. It'd be a nice quenching beer. I'd love to get something like that.
It's so well balanced. It's delicious.
You got a tequila beer without the fucking tequila in it.
There you go. Just add some salt and some lime juice to your Corona. All right, let's go over to Ashley. What do you? Redbeard, did you give your scores to that? I think you said it was a 9, right?
9 for the style and 8.5 personal enjoyment.
Nice. All right.
Well, just as a reminder, everyone, I'm drinking Krampus Christmas Ale. It's an Imperial eggnog stout. I didn't tell you the ingredients earlier. You know, usual characters: water, yeast, barley, lactose, oats, hops, cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. But no preservatives. There we go. There we go. The aroma when I first poured it, and it's been out. I opened it. Well, I took this out of the garage about a half hour before we started, so it's been out for about an hour and a half now, so it's really warmed up. When I first cracked it, though, the aroma came out really nice. It didn't really remind me so much of an eggnog stout, so much as it did like a gingerbread, like more of a ginger like dark molasses, heavy spice, and then
like a winter spiced ale more than
Now, on the sip, it drinks very light. It drinks very light for 10% with a crap ton of lactose in it, light carbonation. And much like with all other beers with a lot of lactose in it, it coats heavy on the back end of the palate. Sort of goes away to like this sickly sweet, super marshmallowy, vanilla-y type of like aftertaste that just sort of sticks around. On the right at the front though, you get more of that, like, you know, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, but I get more ginger as well. It's almost like, and maybe the East Coast guys would get this more so than anyone else, but like a molasses cookie or a molasses like pound cake, you know, where it's like there's enough sweetness in there, but there's a crap ton of spices. And it's, you know, like gingerbread or something. It's a very heavy spice flavor. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it comes across as an eggnog Imperial stout so much as it does like a pound cake, but like more molassesy. So on the sip though, you know, all the malt flavor is all like super prune, dark fruit, just sweet on sweet. So what I lack on this one for like something like an Imperial Stout, even though it's an adjunct, it's adjuncted, but I would still, for an Imperial Stout, you still need that bitterness to cut through a lot, especially when it's 10%, but it's only 30 IBUs. So, it's a little on the unbalanced side. A little bit more roastiness would have been appreciated on that one, but it's an easy drink in 10%. You would never know that it's 10%. If you just drank it, there's nothing on the nose, nothing on the chest, nothing in the stomach, nothing, no burn at all. So, if I'm going to call this an Imperial adjunct stout, let's give it a 7.5. I mean, it's Imperial, it's smooth, it's just the flavors are a little off for me. And then for personal preference, I'll give it a 6.
Nice. Alrighty, let's move over to Mr. Klizak. What you think?
All right, so thank you very much for one thing, Nick. This is fucking dynamite. I like this beer. This Fuller's Imperial Stout. It's bottle conditioned, so and I left a little bit on the bottom because I'll probably drink the dregs of this later, but I'm gonna let that sit. But at 10.7%, I was hoping that this would have a little bit more of a bigger body on it, which it doesn't. It's a little bit thinner than I would like, or if Paul would say it's way too thin.
Paul's in the actual comments right now.
So right there. Cheers,
cheers, Paul. Yeah, this is way too thin for you, Paul. I mean, fuck. But the notes on this one, you're getting all that nice raisiny kind of date kind of scent to it. You're getting a lot of chocolate on this, which is nice, but not so much of a roastiness on the stout part with the nose, but on the taste, everything comes through. This is fantastic, a fantastically made Imperial Stout, and I kind of wish I had these before, but anyway, Nick, I love this beer. And it's extremely dangerous. This is 10.7%. It's drinking like fucking Lee's 5% fucking stout right now. Like there's there's no chest warming on this one. There's no like astringency going down on when you're taking a sip. So you know what? It's super dangerous and it's super delicious. So as for style, for an Imperial Stout, as I take a sip again. It's well made. I just wish I had a little bit of a bigger body on this one. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 for style. And for my overall impression and my overall pick on this one, you know what? This one it's a 9 again. I mean, I would drink this every day, all day, if I could. And I can't because I can't find it anywhere anymore. But so 9 and 9. Take that as you will.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I can't get it anymore either. I wish I could. That is excellent stuff.
Oh, it is good. Yep.
All right.
Thanks, Nick.
No problem, man. All right. Let's go over to Greg.
Hello,
Greg,
Nick. How are you today?
How's your beer drinking?
Well, so it's interesting because I'm trying to listen to some of the intelligent things that Mr. Sexton said and trying to interpret how his beer is different than mine.
Yeah, but this is a bourbon barrel aged version. This is like in your wheelhouse. Come on, Greg.
Well, yeah, but it's very, very different than what you'd expect. Actually, before listening to Ashley's review, to me, I kind of thought there really isn't all that much bourbon barrel in this. Like, I don't know how long they actually age this thing, but when Ashley's describing how sickly sweet it is, this is sweet, but I don't find it overly sweet. So I almost wonder if the bourbon barrel has maybe tamed this a little bit. Because I mean, definitely like cinnamon nutmeg is like the upfront thing, but in the background, like I kind of get like a little bit of the stoutiness, maybe a little bit of the bourboniness. I'm not sure how much of that is my imagination because it says bourbon on the can, and it's that in my mind. I will say, like Ashley says with the regular one, this is stupidly smooth. Like you could. If I gave this to you, Nick, and told you this was a 5% beer, you'd drink 6 of them and then pass out and shit your pants. you would have no fucking clue that this is 12%. Like, and I mean, I kind of wish I had done that now. I ruined my opportunity. So, as we're gonna make up a category too, Ashley. As an adjunct bourbon barrel-aged stout. That's the category it's in. I'm going to give this a solid 7.5 because you know what? the big thing is I can't go any higher because there isn't a whole lot of bourbon, but I do feel, based on my incomplete knowledge, that I do think the bourbon barrel maybe tamed this beer a little bit and maybe made it so it's a little bit less diabetes in a can, or at the very least, it's like hidden diabetes. It comes behind you and stabs you in the back, but you didn't see it coming, so it's okay. As an overall beer, you know what? As something to have every now and then, it's not bad. But it's not something I'd want to drink more than like once a year. Like it really is very. It still is very cinnamon heavy. Like it kind of reminds me of those pumpkin beers that are overspiced. Like they're okay now and then, and celebrate the season, blah blah blah. But you wouldn't want them all that often. Like once a year is probably plenty. So I'm gonna go 7 for personal enjoyment. Definitely don't hate this beer. I definitely don't love it either. It's kind of a fun little holiday beer. Like if I happen to get one next Christmas, I'd drink it happily, but I don't need to drink one anytime before that.
Nice.
Yeah, what isn't too thin for Paul? I mean, if you had a Venn diagram that was Paul and too thin, it would just be a perfect circle.
All right, let's go over to my thoughts on it. I'm going to get rid of the comments so I fill up the screen more. So, what's my thought on the sack? Not bad, actually. I kind of like this. I'm going to bring up my tasting notes because, yes, I have to do that in order to remember. I'm not like Greg copying Ashley Sexton or anything. So, up front, I get this nice, like the skin of a plum or a grape rind. It's got that Brett Myces kind of sour kind of note to it. It's got flavors of cinnamon, nutmeg, clove. It's a bit peppery, coppercoiny, almond, caramel apple. A little bit of lingering earth and spice in the finish, and it finishes nice and clean with a crisp bite. Feels medium heavy, like in the body compartment, but it's not boozy. I'm actually surprised it doesn't taste boozy for being 10%. And being a North American brewed Belgian style beer, it's got this spicy kind of warmingness with a bit of lingering blue cheese funk in the background that's kind of left behind. One thing I will say about this is like the Canadian version of Duvel with spices. It's kind of like it's very drinkable. Like I've gone through, I got a little bit left in the bottom of my bottle here, and then that much left in my glass. So this thing is what, a 650. And I'm hoovering right through this. This is actually really, really fucking nice. The Brett bite on it, it's reminiscent of Orval, which we might be interested.
Lots of horse blankets
horse
in it.
Blanket. Except for it's less carbonated, like way less carbonated than Orval.
Nothing I love more than just chewing and licking a horse blanket. Just find my nice Belgian barn and just fucking.
Well, that's how Lindemann's really became famous with their lambics, is basically putting brewing beer in a barn and leaving the doors open so all that yeast can waft in and sour the beer.
Fucking savages.
Right. Anyway, so... But Beer Patrol, yeah, like Joe.
All the fucking horse blanket.
All the fucking horse blanket sons. Alrighty, yeah. I gotta say, I really do like this. I'm actually quite impressed with that, and I think I like it more after being aged 3 years, a little bit smoother than I recall the last time I had it. And I remember the last time I had it, I didn't think it was anything super remarkable, but this one here, just maybe I'm just in a better mood because it's Christmas, but it's just I find that this is actually really, really nice for I'm considering this kind of a Belgian strong golden ale. Like a Taconic or a Duvel kind of style, except for it's winter spiced, and I think it works really, really well. So I'm going to give it out of the style. I'm giving it an 8. It is. I mean, there's a little bit. It's not quite as good as a Duvel, but it's definitely a great attempt. And overall enjoyment, going to give it an 8.5. I like this. It's tasty.
PopoJojo in the comments saying Coors Light cheers.
Coors Light cheers. Well,
isn't PopoJojo like some sort of different language name for Santa Claus?
It sounds like a police version of Joe, maybe. Perhaps uniform.
I'm pretty sure it is. I think I recall years and years and years ago seeing that fucking Tim Allen fucking the Santa Claus on TV. And I think he said, PopoJojo! I think that's the only thing I remember from that fucking film. So
Okay.
I wonder if
Oh,
PopoJojo.
the Santa Claus.
It's
Action muted.
it's,
Yeah,
it's
there you go.
PopoJojo.
PopoJojo. That sounds racist,
Who?
Ashley. You shut up.
all right.
Oh,
I'm gonna,
man, Ashley being racist again.
I can hear it in my head. I can hear Tim Allen's voice. I know exactly what clip you're talking about.
I'm gonna flip it back over to Ashley here. Not to draft him, but let's read some of the comments that we got here.
Am I starting off where you had like with the Beer Patrol heart?
Yeah, because I don't think we mentioned that Joe's in the comments. Saying,
Joe's in the comments.
We missed you,
Hi, Joe.
I do.
Be well, stay well. Mersey Beer is a
Son.
rhubarb saisons, and I think he had a yucky face there.
Gross.
He does a yucky face. Redbeard acknowledges the existence of Joe or the likeness of him because we all know he's dead in the basement. And then we have Nick says, "Cheers, Joe! Christmas Boxing Day miracle." Chris off the 10th, LOL. Cheers, Jen, says PA Brew News. Raining on Your Parade says, if you are a Duchess fan, I would try it, but I prefer it without the chocolate. Got no problem with the cherry.
That's that cherry chocolate Duchess that I think he's drinking. The Duchess de Bourgogne, that's cherry chocolate.
Gotcha. And then Paul from PA Brew News says, what isn't too thin for me? And then Joe, Beer Patrol, says, all the fucking horse blanket.
Mm-hmm.
PopoJojo 7 is drinking Coors Light. Cheers.
Cheers.
And then Lady Lee says, what beer are you doing next?
See, she gets
You've been
it.
asked the magic question. Somebody asked the magic question. I'll get to what the magic asked.
Yeah, get past all your.
It's not even
I have
English.
to process this. I'm drinking a 10% beer like it's water.
Wow.
Okay, I'll get to the magic question. I'm glad that somebody asked it. Thank you very much. But let's go to finish this one off now that we can because the question's been asked. But let's go look through everybody and just say quickly, Redbeard, of all the beers you've heard tonight, which one would you rather have? You're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
Motherfucker. Since I had the one that Ashley had and actually didn't hate it, I would actually like to try the one Greg had.
Yeah, 1 point, Greg.
All righty. Let's go over to Ashley. Which one would you rather have?
I'd prefer to have the one that you sent Chris, the Fullers. I've had it before and I really like it. And I'm a seasonal drinker, so I'm drinking dark stuff right now.
Yeah.
All righty. And Chris, of all the beers you heard tonight, which one would you rather have?
I would like to try Lee's beer that he has. It sounds like something that I would totally crush.
Nice. All right, and let's go over to Lee. Lee, of all the beers you heard tonight, which one would you rather have?
I mean, I would love to have Fuller's Imperial Stout all the time, anytime, but as far as just, new stuff, new to me in this chat, I'd definitely go for Redbeard's one. Like me a good Goza, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, fuck, I forgot he was drinking.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm going back, changing my answer. I'd rather have Redbeards.
Please, no take backsies.
Right. All right, let's go over to Greg. Greg, of all the beers you've heard tonight, which would you rather have?
I would like to try Mr. Sexton's beer because I would like to taste the difference between the regular and the bourbon barrel aged one. So that's where I'm on this, and I'm sure Ashley's is probably worse than mine, but I still want to try it.
All right, and as for me, of all the beers I've heard tonight, there's kind of two that's kind of stand out. Of course, everybody wants to try a Redbeard's Lime Goza, and I kind of do too. I'm pretty sure I've had like a Lime Goza from a brewery local, though. I think Holy Whale made one, which was actually really fucking good. So, as for all the beers that I've heard tonight, I'd like to try the one that Greg has because bourbon barrel aged something. Bourbon barrel aged is anything is awesome.
Sons.
All right.
And,
Anyway.
and again, cheers, Dan, for this beer. Greatly appreciated, sir.
Thanks, Nick, for this beer.
No problem.
Cheers, Dan. You're twice as good as Nick.
All of these
Thank-
beers are gifted except for Nick's.
Thanks, my sister, for this beer, yeah.
Thanks, Dad, Lee says.
All right, so to answer the question, what is next week's beer? And Ashley's not going to be super happy about this, but we're going to do Winterbeard next Wednesday for the last Beer Analysis 101 of 2020. Good
What
thing,
did alcohol count on that one?
good way to get rid of this year by getting this one over with.
Yeah, that should just be the last beer of the fucking series. Like, we shouldn't do a show after that because that's a piece of shit. Like, cancel after that fucking piece of garbage.
And we're
What's
done.
the ABV on that, Nick? What's the ABV?
8. It says it's an
Oh,
Imperial
that's right.
Stout right on it. It says
No, it's a
8%.
double.
Not enough to make it fun.
No, I'm serious. It says it's an Imperial Stout right here.
Yeah.
It's cold, but it's a double.
I know it's not really an Imperial Stout. I've had it before, but it's just.
And Nick, to be fair, I know you don't care, but I'm not happy about it either.
Overpriced trash.
Drink it warm.
Drink it
when you're
warm.
going to drink it. Don't even start it cold. Just leave it out of the fridge for 2 hours.
Just hoop it. I'll leave it sitting on my desk like this until next week.
Right next to the heater.
I mean, it probably is better because I remember that does have some subtle flavors, but yeah, you do need to let it warm up a little bit. I will do the Kuzak thing and leave it out for at least an hour before we start.
Subtle, is that a way of saying it's like so nondescript and bland that
Okay, it's September 2019.
It's my way of saying that I need to give it every advantage possible.
I guess, yeah.
That was bottled in 2019, Nick?
Yeah, this is the last year's bottle. Although we did get it again this year. You get it like every year, so I'm like, why can't we get something more interesting than this year after all these years? People like it for some reason. I don't know why.
People actually buy it at the fucking price point they have to pay in fucking Maritimes.
What is it for a bottle of it right now? Like $15?
Yeah, something like that. That's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking
Yeah,
stupid
for
as
what you're
fuck.
getting, an 8% Imperial Stout. It's not that remarkable.
Well, you know what the truth is? It's a big bottle. It comes in a box. And
$4.99.
sorry, pardon the pun, but the fact is people buy that shit. People are like, people see that. They're like, it makes a perfect gift. And people buy it. It's like these sampler packs, like the Bose one that has Lego Tread and 5 other random beers. People buying that shit, they don't care. All they hear is, hey, I know my friend or significant other likes craft beer. Here's a fancy box of something with beer in it, and therefore I'm going to buy it for them. And that's where they make the
It's like buying earphones from Beats by Dre or something. You're buying the brand name or something.
And quite frankly, at $15 a bottle, I'm sure if they sell like 3 bottles, they've basically recouped all their costs.
Yeah, Winter Jack.
Winter
That's
Jack.
the one. That's the one they got to fucking focus
That
on.
is one thing I've never tried that I would absolutely love to try.
That's really good.
Love that.
Yeah. Did they ever make that again, or the Winter
No,
Jack?
I think it was a one-time thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I think that pretty much wraps it up. We can do like an after chat after this, where we have like drinks and games and shit.
Sure.
And anyway, so I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank especially Merry Christmas, Joe. It's nice to see you again,
Joe.
And Lady Lee in the chat. Merry Christmas. We got PopoJojo drinking Coors Light. Still good enough for us. PA Brew News.
I had Coors Light.
Beers, Paul. And Mercy Beers, can't forget about you. Even though Redbird stays on, yes, they kind of do suck. Who else is around? Rainy on your parade.
Yes.
I just want to say I hope Joe comes back to life, and then in his second life, he wears a uniform and just is generally a better person with a uniform.
And this is why Joe's not hanging out with us anymore right now. Because
Yeah.
The harassment.
The harassment.
And Merry Christmas, Scott.
Also, the lack of life might be another reason.
Yeah, BA101 doesn't have an H&R department, unfortunately, so
No.
he can't make complaints. He just had to quit.
Did you just say H and R department?
H&R? Human Resources?
Yeah, just
Oh,
it's usually just HR.
Yeah, the RH.
How about you shut the fuck up, Redbeard?
Hey, it's about to get your income tax done, man.
Merry Christmas.
Our HR department is
That
basically
word,
just
track
we saying,
man.
I don't give a fuck.
Chris,
You know what,
Joe,
Redbeard? I hope all the bad things happen to you in life and you alone, you piece of garbage.
all I want to say, I would like to report Nick for harassment.
You're harassing me, Greg.
Is there an H&R department I can report?
H&R block.
Fucking
Do your
ginger
taxes.
cunt.
All right, we'll talk to you guys in a bit. All right, see ya.
Chris Peters killed those women.
See you guys.